Hello, 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 hello. Hi,
Hi, everybody.
everyone. Welcome to
Hola.
another episode of Hidden Movie
Trish.
Club After the Credits, where we talk about movies that we have watched possibly in the theater with anniversary releases. But this one today is not one of those. It's just one that we picked because we really like it, or we hadn't seen it before in Derek's case, which I was super excited for him to see it because Fargo is a classic. And yeah, Coen brothers are pretty cool. So I don't know, before we have anything else, little tidbits or anything, what's going on? Daylight savings just happened. So welcome, Derek. Now he is on my time, Pacific Daylight Time.
Elon owns the time zone, so he allowed me to join him in
Correct.
Pacific time.
It happens. It happens.
I hereby decree. So yeah. Hey, everybody. Hey, Jay Van Gool.
Hello, Jay.
Who's already commented in the comments section. And feel
Hello,
free to drop
Jay.
in your comments if you want. And
Thank you. See, Jay doesn't like
correct.
daylight savings time either. So
Yeah.
I'm in Arizona. We don't do daylight savings time. It stays the same all year round. 5 o'clock is 5 o'clock. But
yeah, I talked about it on Threads. I was like, I might be in the minority here, but I like standard time because in the winter, that would mean everybody's going to work and to school in the blackness of the night, which is dumb. So
we have sunshine all day long here in Arizona. We don't shovel sunshine either.
Yeah. So yeah, standard time for life.
Yeah, I have no opinion. Just stay the same. Just stay the same, whatever it is. Just stay the same. If it's just the same, it's fine. But it's the change that I haven't felt right. I haven't felt right all week. Like I just have not. Like, well, I mean, it's Tuesday, but since Sunday, I feel like I've just not been asleep.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
I woke up by my normal time this morning and normal time. But a few days ago, I woke up, technically I woke up an hour earlier. So it's about 11 o'clock this morning. It just hit me. I was like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
So
I went to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time. It's nice and easy. But you're right. I mean, I guess if you got to go to school and work and do that stuff where you're commuting and stuff. Yeah, I guess it is darker. But then just move your start time up.
The schools will do that for you typically. You can tell them what you want and they'll adjust dynamically to
us.
Yes.
Please.
Me.
Yeah, see, Jay says in Back to the Future, do they adjust the time for daylight savings time on the clock tower?
That is a good question.
How do you save the future when it's missing an hour?
I think if we were to consult Bob Zemeckis and Bob Gale on this, they would probably say, well, daylight savings time doesn't exist in the Back to the Future universe, or whatever. That was a terrible Robert Zemeckis, but
no, spot on.
I mean, have you ever heard him talk? It's pretty funny.
Especially when Doc Brown sets all the clocks off too. That would be even worse because then he would get daylight savings time miss, and then the time. Australia, hey.
Whoa, yay high 9074.
I can't watch movies upside down.
Like a bat.
Yeah, sorry. It's easier to watch them when I'm sitting versus hanging. But hey, Australia.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Yay high. He's about yay high down there. Down
No, he's yay high.
Yay. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it then. Yeah. Holy cow. Fargo. Let's Fargo it up.
Fargo.
Oh, Dave, of course, has the 4K Blu-ray to show off as usual because physical media is cool.
If you want to get a copy of it, make sure to subscribe to our Substack so that you can get entered in the bi-weekly drawing to win a Blu-ray copy of whatever movie we're talking about.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mean, for those of us, I'm not one of those people, but what is Substack for those of us that don't know what it is?
I mean, a lot of writers love Substack. It is technically another social media platform out there because
it's a creator platform.
Yeah. It's not,
because you can do podcasts, you can do movies, you can write stuff, you can put notes.
Yeah, you can create newsletters as we do. So we, have a newsletter going out every Tuesday morning. Yeah, so that's pretty cool, and it's a way to gather email addresses and start a community of like-minded people. So it's actually been pretty cool.
Nice.
I've been trying to see what else it can do. I do just to kind of plug this too. I do enjoy the fact that you can now upload videos directly to Substack. So anything that I've had trouble with YouTube's analytics and or
copyright
rules and regulations, all that
automated stuff.
Yeah, like if I ever get dinged for something that I was just basically trying to express my love for something, or saying, like, please watch this because I want to talk about it, but I can't because YouTube is dumb.
Yeah.
I can throw it up on Substack and it's totally fine. So yeah, if you join our pledge tier for $5 per month, which is less than a cup of coffee nowadays, you can access some exclusive content that you wouldn't be able to get otherwise on our YouTube channel.
Special members only content.
Yes. Special.
Everybody loves that content.
Yeah.
I'm very, very concerned right now.
Everybody's so content aware nowadays.
They're so content with their content. Brad, what did you think of, did you get the 4K?
Yep.
You watching 4K? What'd you think?
So I thought that it was actually, because I've seen some really bad 4K transfers, as we've talked about, like The Abyss and True Lies and things like that.
James Cameron, yep.
Yeah. Not The Abyss. I'm sorry, not The Abyss. Aliens and True Lies. The Abyss is probably kind of one of the few that aren't as bad, but it still has some problems. I thought that this was a great transfer, great remaster. There were some soft shots, but I think that's just part of the photography. I didn't really see any like crazy noise reduction. I did think it was a little bit over sharpened, like digitally, like over sharpened, because there were some times, especially like in the snow, where I noticed like some artifacting on like especially like the grills, like the front grill of like the prowlers, and the cars and things like that. And then when Marge is looking at the bodies or looking inside the car that's turned upside down, there was some weird kind of like ringing artifacts there, especially around her teeth. I know it's weird to like pinpoint that, but it just kind of stood out to me. But I felt like overall it was like I would probably rate this, even with the sharpening, as like one of my top kind of catalog legacy title transfers, especially from '96. Like I think it looks really, really good, like almost up there with like which to me the pinnacle of like a really, really good remaster is like the first two Ghostbusters movies. Like Sony, just what they do with their stuff on 4K has always been top notch. But yeah, I thought the image had a lot of snow in it. As
hilarious.
That is hilarious. Yeah, so good. Yeah, it did have a lot of snow. But yeah, I thought it was really good. The audio definitely shows its age. I watched it in the 2-channel version for part of it, and then the 5.1 mix, and I really didn't feel like the 5.1 mix that I upmixed really just kind of added some spaciousness to the score. It didn't really add too much in terms of like panning, like when they broke in to the house. That was just a really stock sounding, flat sounding, like glass crashing sound effect that really stood out to me on both, and neither of them sounded Like, you're not going to be like, wow, they really, like, redid the sound effects and everything. No, they didn't, which is fine. Don't do that. If anybody's out there watching that, don't go back and like add sound effects or change the sound effects just to make it sound better. But I think overall it was true to like probably how it was originally shown theatrically, if not way. I mean, let's be honest. In 96? The theatrical print most of us saw, if we saw it in the theater, was probably pretty rubbish by the time we saw it, unless we saw it opening night, due to them being dupes of dupes of dupes. You know, so like we're actually seeing it now, probably better than people saw in the theater when it was like shown like on film, like through a film projector. So that's and yeah, I thought like the HDR grade and everything was really good, like really kind of tastefully done. It didn't really, there's nothing really popped in it, you know, but it just kind of added the some better shadow detail, some better highlights and stuff. And it really just made me kind of hate Wade even more in HDR, because okay, Jerry, that's the whole anyway. Yeah, so that's my little mini review. If you're thinking of picking up the Fargo 4K UHD and you're not subscribed to the Substack, or however, whatever, you're not signed up for the Substack, you're not subscribed to the channel, what the hell are you doing? No, I think it's definitely a worthy pickup. Although, Derek, I think you were talking about the Steelbook being like kind of out of print and just kind of exuberantly overpriced on eBay because scalpers are just trying to offload this stuff for a crazy amount of money.
Yeah, so I was telling Elin actually right before we got on, because I ordered this from the 4K is done by Shout Factory, which is now owned by Grove. So I ordered it from their store, and the photo on there, it does not look like this. It looks like a Steelbook. And so I was like, oh, goody, I'm going to be getting the Steelbook for, you know, whatever, $30 or whatever they were asking for it. And then when I actually looked, it's like, oh, it's not the Steelbook. You know, when I got it, it's clearly not a Steelbook, which is fine. There's no big deal. But then when I looked to see if there even was a Steelbook, yeah, there's tons of people selling it, you know, the Blu-ray Steelbook for way over the price. And it's just like, you know, it was a limited release. It was the 20th anniversary, I think, which is, you know, a couple years back now, at least. But it's just ridiculous. Like, I can't believe there's so few copies of it that it's dragging those prices out. So
that's crazy. So, yeah, I did want to mention, I do have the original release on Blu-ray, like when it came out. And did
you compare them at all?
Just very briefly, and there's like no comparison. The original Blu-ray is terrible. Like,
okay.
It's bad. Like it's really bad. So yeah, I think this is probably if you're going to watch the movie now and you're a fan, or you're just discovering it for the first time, like my wife had never seen it. This is the way to do it. 4K Blu-ray. You're going to see it pretty in tip-top shape. I didn't notice any like weirdness in terms of like, you know, bad restoration things or like, yeah. So yeah, definitely. He says, damn it. So now I need to buy the 4K. Yeah.
Flatbridge Duppy.
If you're a fan of the movie at all, this is totally worth the upgrade. Not every movie is going to be worth the upgrade, but this is, you've never seen Fargo like this. It actually, we watched it and it made my wife and I want to watch the show, which we have never seen.
I didn't even realize there was a show. I just found that out after watching the movie too. Because again, I'd never seen the movie before.
Yeah.
So I didn't find out that there was a show until I started looking it up on IMDb, which is so weird. I mean, I guess I understand why, but IMDb defaults to the show now instead of the movie, which is very odd to me.
Probably just because it's newer.
Yeah. And there was also like a TV movie in the early 2000s, I think.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen the first 2 seasons. Excellent. It's got the same vibe. It's got the same kind of deal where it's just, you know, kind of ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances dealing with large sums of money that they've never had before and don't know what to do with. And like, you know, the cops are involved and everything. So they're really well done. I don't know about beyond season 2, but I can only imagine they're also great.
Well, if you haven't seen it, I guess check out the TV movie from 2003, directed by Kathy Bates of all people.
Oh wow!
Yeah, starring Edie Falco, Bruce Bone. Who isn't he in this one? He's like one of the cops, I think, in this one.
Yeah.
So maybe he plays the same character. Yeah, Officer Lou. All right.
Edie Falco. Nice.
I might have to see if I can track that down.
Yeah.
Wait, Officer Lou?
Yeah.
The guy. Okay.
The guy at the car wreck scene.
Yeah. Yeah. We were watching this and I was like, he looks so familiar to me. And I was trying to place him the entire movie. And it was only after I looked it up that my wife and I watched the Dawn of the Dead remake recently. And he plays Andy, the guy across the street. You know, the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead movie.
I have not seen it.
He's the guy trapped on the like in the ammo supply store across the street on the rooftop. You don't see him a ton, but yeah, it I was just like, oh, okay.
That's a fairly recent remake, isn't it? Like within the last
2004.
Yeah. Oh wait, 2004.
I think so. Yeah.
What am I?
Yeah, he did those before all the superhero movies, right? Before all the DC.
Yeah, that
movies.
was like his kind of like big start between. I think I'm trying to remember if Dawn of the Dead, because when was 300? Which
oh wow, yeah,
2006. So he did that before.
What am I thinking of then? The Zack Snyder zombie movie that came out in like 2021 or 2020.
Why can't I think of it?
I'm looking it up right now because I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of the name.
Yeah, with the wrestling guy.
Army of the Dead.
Yes, Army of the Dead.
Yeah, and it was all done in like natural light. Like they didn't really use a whole lot of film lights. There was a completely like replaced character in it. Like Tig Notaro replaced who was it? I can't remember who it was.
Also had a TV series.
Yes.
Very, very weird that we're now 2 for 2 on that.
Yeah. That's weird. Yeah, Army of the Dead Las Vegas.
That was the TV series?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Speaking of that scene too, I legitimately laughed out loud at that scene with Officer Lou and her, because the way that she describes the scene is effing hilarious. Just her being like, oh yeah, okay, so this guy goes over here, they get pulled over, they shoot the trooper, they drive by, they see it, there's a high-speed chase, and then there's this execution style thing that happens over here. It's like she's just describing it so nonchalantly. It's like, what?
That's like the endearing and very extremely charming thing about this movie in general. It's just although I bet if you talk to somebody who's actually from Fargo or just North Dakotans in general, they're probably like, no, that's not how we talk. This is stupid. It's yeah.
Well, so the original title of the movie wasn't Fargo. They were gonna call it Brainerd. But it just didn't sound good.
Yeah.
It was like Fargo just sounds better. And that's where he meets the two schlubs, as I call it, the Peter Stormare and Steve Buscemi characters. I want to go to Pancake's house.
Yeah, Carl.
Carl.
Gear.
Which, seeing the unraveling of Gear, like just slowly over time, like just him, just like not even unraveling, but like you could tell there's something off about this guy throughout the entire movie, and then.
Or you didn't get clued in by the fact that he says like 4 words total.
Yeah, right. But no, it's just very ominous, and I kind of love that. I love that character of his in this movie, and he's a great actor. But he just when his facial expressions, to me, especially like when she bites him as they're kidnapping him and he just stops
at the bottom of the stairs. He's like,
he's just like, that's all he focuses on now. Right. And then the look he does when he is looking in the mirror and then sees the shower curtain behind him, and I'm like, so good. So good.
He knows what's going on. I thought she died in that scene when she fell down the stairs.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There wasn't any really like indication that she survived, and I was like, oh my God.
My wife thought that too, yeah.
They just killed her on accident. Like they didn't even do anything. She just
I mean, because you would think it would be leading up to that, considering she's running around blind, basically, with that shower curtain over her. Like, something's gonna happen. But no, she survives. But yeah,
very, very cool though. What was your favorite part of the movie?
It was I texted you about it, Derek. It was the scene where she's what is her name? Marge? No.
Yeah. Margie.
Yeah. Where Margie's talking to the sex workers. And they're just trying to describe. He's kind of funny looking. Oh yeah, it's can you?
How do you mean?
How do you? Yeah,
just general kind of funny looking, like
more so than normal. It's like,
oh yeah, sure, yeah. I tracked, I think, like 25 yeahs in that scene. Like, oh yeah.
Well, apparently, I think one of the girl, I don't know which one of the actresses, Frances McDormand, loosely, or actually, I think she helped her with the accent, and she based Margie's character off of that character's accent.
Oh, no way.
So yeah, that was that. I mean, that's a great scene. I'm trying to think. Like, mine would probably be, just like from a filmmaking standpoint, because that's how my brain works. Would be, I mean, there's a lot of like great scenes, but like the one that I love is the introduction of Marge's character, because in a short amount of time with not much dialogue, you kind of know everything about her character.
Yeah.
You know about her relationship with Norm, you know how they are together, you see that she's pregnant, she's got a police uniform on, so you can, assume that, and they're eating, but they're not really saying anything. And it just kind of how it all comes out just in this brief, like maybe 3 to 4 minute scene where like the phone just rings and you're like, I don't know who this is. And then after 3 minutes, you know exactly who it is. Like the Coen brothers do this really great thing in that they build these characters in a way that you like, even like the character of like Shep, right? Like, that character. Even though he doesn't say much, it's what he doesn't say that tells you everything about him, right? And they just do this thing where they kind of will take a scene one way, and you're thinking, I know how this is, like, I'm in my head, I'm playing this out, and I know how this is going to end up. But then the Coen brothers, they always throw some type of curveball in there somewhere, and you're like,
always,
what the hell? Like the whole, I don't know if you guys ever seen Burn After Reading.
Yes,
the whole George Clooney, like he's building something in his basement and we don't know what it is. He's like, is he building a bomb? Is it something, like we're led to believe all this stuff, and then when it comes to be that it's like a sex machine, basically, you're like, what?
Yeah,
what?
man.
Like, yeah, they just, I'm trying to think of a moment in this movie. Like, I love like just seeing Jerry Lundegaard's character just kind of slowly like lose it throughout the movie, where he becomes more and more like kind of manic, and just like by the end of it, he's like trying to climb out the window of his hotel room, and he's like screaming in a way that you haven't heard him scream at all in the movie. Like, he's just a completely different person at the end of the movie than at the beginning. And I think like, looking at like how my wife did make a point where like you never really figure out, or they don't tell you what he's in trouble with, like why he owes so much money. But I'm like, I don't really think that's the important aspect of it. Like, I think that it's just like a slice of this person's life when they're in a situation like this and they don't know what to do. It just, I don't know. It's just the way it's told. I hadn't seen it in years, and I never once like was bored rewatching it, you know, because it's probably been 10, 15 years since I've seen it. So there were parts that I completely forgot, but I think it just holds up. I think it's a great movie, and it's just a testament to like them as filmmakers. Even if I don't agree with all of their movies, I think that most like their technical aspects and everything are very, very, very well done and always have been. And I mean, the cinematography in this movie is Roger Deakins, you know, like
it is.
Yeah, the commentary was awesome, by the way. Well, he has so much. The only commentary you can get for this movie is his commentary.
Oh, nice!
And it's phenomenal. Like it helps me, or at least it felt like it helped me to listen to him be critical of something that I was in awe of. Like every scene, he's like, "Oh, we didn't get this shot the right way. I wanted this. Oh, I hate that light in the background." Or, "Oh, you know, the Coens, they wanted all these cars in the background, but the sunlight coming in just really effed the shot, and I'm not happy with it and everything." It's like, bro, this is like one of the most beautifully set up movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that it's like, which I guess is a little contentious, but I don't. Some people say it's like the perfect movie, and I don't agree with that in the normal sense of the word. But I do think that it's a perfect movie in the sense of that I don't think there's anything that you can cut out or that there was anything like extraneous about it. You know, I think all of the shots that are in there, all of the scenes that are in there serve some sort of purpose to move the story forward. And there's so many shots that I just love the way that they did them. The scene, actually, you were talking about Jerry's kind of mental breakdown through it. The first scene where you kind of start to see that mental breakdown happen is where he's on the phone with like the insurance guy or the bank guy or something. They're like, "Hey, we sent you this money, but like the cars that money is supposed to be going towards, the VIN numbers don't make any sense," or something like that. And they film it through the blinds. So like Deacon talks about how
they slowly push in over the duration of the scene.
Like jail bars, I guess.
Yeah, because it starts closing in on his face. Like it just becomes this more claustrophobic.
Yes, and he keeps trying to repeat I'll fax it to you. I mean, I'll send it to you or whatever. And like you can tell that he's starting to freak out a little bit. And and Deacon mentions in the commentary about how they filmed it that way to make it seem, you know, dual purpose, that the walls were closing in on him, but that he's also in jail and that the blinds look like bars of a jail cell or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the next time that we see him kind of like really freak out at somebody is when Marge comes in and is basically like doing the interview before he bolts. And he's like, I already answered your question. She's just like, yeah, but how do you know? Like, you got to have like some counts or some totals or whatever inventory. And he's like, listen, I'm not going to play this game with you and blah, blah, blah. And he just starts unraveling. Like, what great character progression to do that. I thought I don't think there's a single scene in the movie that isn't purposeful. And I was reading, I don't remember where I read it, maybe on like the IMDb community or on Reddit or something. It's just somewhere that people were saying that they felt like that scene with her old college friend or old high school friend where they go out on that date was pointless, that the movie can't be considered perfect because there's no reason for that scene. And I completely disagree with that. I feel like that whole scene, maybe it comes out of nowhere because it is kind of like he just calls her up in the middle of the night or whatever. But I felt like that is what kind of gave her the thought process of like, oh shit, maybe I should be more critical of the people that I've been asking these questions for. And that's why she goes back to Jerry and wants to like question him further. And so I feel like everything in that movie was done for a reason. It's incredibly detailed, incredibly well thought out. Is it a perfect movie? No, I wouldn't say that, but there's not any wasted space in it. There's nothing that I think that needs to be cut out, and there's nothing that I think needs to be added to really tell the story. My wife actually, I think you said your wife mentioned the same thing, that they don't really talk about why he needs the money. They don't really ever say that he like owes it, so it could be that like they just are money poor, and he's like, why are we poor if your dad's super wealthy, or whatever the case may be. But I feel like if they had added that, it would have taken away from the movie, because it really feels like part of that tension between him and his father-in-law is really like, why won't you give us this money? And knowing what he needs it for would almost make you sympathize with, might make you sympathize with him. It's not guaranteed that it would, but like if he had a good enough reason, maybe you'd sympathize with him going through this whole convoluted plot. Whereas not knowing, it's kind of like, okay, there's no fucking reason. Sorry, there's no reason on the planet why he would need to come up with this whole giant scheme just to get some cash.
Yeah. I also think that scene with what was his name? The guy, like the guy that calls her. Why can't I think of his name? It's not Mike or Tim or something like that. That she meet, like Marge goes on the date with, not the date, but like they meet up at the Radisson. So it's got to be good. It's the Radisson. That whole scene, I think, like Derek said, really adds to the sense of that it kind of entices her character, inspires her character to be like, oh, okay, like the phone call afterwards with the friend of hers is like, oh, he was never married, like he lied to you, basically. She's like, okay, I got to go back. But I think it also reinforces the type of person Marge is, because when he tries to sit next to her and she's like, no, why don't you sit over there?
Yeah,
like she's like, back off. Like she's like, I'm married, and that, like,
well, and she also kind of deflects that too, which I really liked, because he's all like, oh, sorry, obviously you don't like me. Or she's like, no, it's just so I can see you better, which is like a completely like simple way to diffuse that situation. Yep. She has like that good sternness with the approachability. And that actually, I think, leads to a really good thing that I think the Coen brothers did. This totally could have been a male cop. Making it not only a female officer, but a pregnant female officer really disarms you. Like totally changes the entire vibe of how that character is perceived. And I don't know if that was intentional. I mean, I feel like it has to be intentional. I did find a copy of the script somewhere. I don't know if it mentions that stuff, but like brilliant choice on their part to do that.
Yeah. I think I remember, or I misremembered, because it's been, gosh, probably 15, 20 years since I've seen Fargo. And I could have sworn that like the shot of when he's wood chipping Steve Buscemi's character, I could have sworn that was just like this grandiose shot with blood squirting, and like you could see the blood just in this huge arc and just staining the snow. But it's like, that's not it at all. It's like, it's pretty closed off and it's pretty close considering what is actually happening.
Yeah. And it's kind of like behind the tree, so it's obscured a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Because I could have sworn, like in my head, it was just wide open and it was nothing else you could see but just this bloodbath. And then I saw it again. I was like, huh.
That was one of my favorite shots that Duppy just mentioned.
Yeah, the overhead shot. Yeah, where he's driving around and stuff.
Yeah, in the commentary, Deacon says all that snow is fake. They didn't. All of it is fake. They had to do it overnight. A guy with an ice scraper machine that they would just toss big blocks of ice into, and it would just shave it all over the place. There was no snow on the ground, and so they wanted to like pack the parking lot with cars afterwards. But when the first car drove in, and it's just, you see like one S shape, like car set of tire tracks or whatever going through across this way, and then William H. Macy's car comes up this way, and they were like, no, let's just keep it, like, no, don't put the other cars in there, let's just do it with his car, and that's it. And it's like such a great frame shot. It's so good.
It also, like, that shot had a kind of Severance vibe to me a little bit too.
Yeah.
Like when I was like, okay, and which then I'm like, well, now I want to rewatch Severance, But yeah, there's like just so many little things in the movie that really, as with every Coen Brothers movie, I'm gonna say that a lot because like all their movies to me, they share a lot of the same like similarities. You know, one of them, I remember watching an interview with Peter Stormare years ago, and it may have been on like the behind the scenes stuff on the Blu-ray at the time, but basically he said that one of the days of shooting when they're in the car, and he says the Pancakes House line, he actually said International House of Pancakes because he thought that they just messed up in the script, and like it was, and they like cut, and they're like, why don't you say what's on the page instead of, you know? And he's like, well, I thought, you know, it's called International House of Pancakes. They're like, no, but we wrote it as Pancakes House because it's funnier.
Yeah, and that seems like something his character would actually have said.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, okay, and that's
brevity.
That's the way it is.
Brevity. Yeah,
and then also I read this on IMDb that William H. Macy said in an interview that a lot of people were like, wow, your ad-libbing was excellent in the movie. And he's like, no, like 99% of that was on the page. Like all the stutters and everything were written into the script. And I've always heard and read that the Coen brothers, when they write their stuff, is like, just say what's up. Like, we write this stuff. We know what we're doing. Just say it. Mm-hmm. It's not like they're not open to like, okay, we got what we want. Let's play around. They're like, we know we have this vision in our head. And like, I think if you go back even all the way to like Miller's Crossing and stuff, they know what they want, and it works. Like in all their movies, it works. Like
when you say that, all I hear in my head is Mugatu from Zoolander going, "I have a vision, Derek. Let me show it to you."
Oh, that's I haven't seen Zoolander in years.
Yeah, there's also a really cool shot, Elin. I wonder if you caught it, because we talked about it with Road to Perdition. Yeah. The split shots where the screen is not actually like split in post, but there's some kind of split happening just naturally. Yeah, right. And there's that scene, Brad, you were talking about, which is weird because now I kind of thought that that's the scene you were referring to, because they're also eating in that scene. But where Marge leaves for work in the morning and they're talking, there's like, I think it's the first time they talk about the painting that he's doing, that her husband is doing.
Oh, yeah.
And the shot is set up very, very similarly to Road to Perdition, where there's a door on one side and then there's just him sitting on the other side. It's flipped in Fargo in the way it is from Road to Perdition, but it shows like a very clear, like, hey, they're together. And then she walks out and goes out into the world while he's like still, you know, kind of staying at home, stuck at home or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was cool because on, I think it was in IMDb in the trivia or something, or maybe Frances McDormand said it in an interview, but they talked about how they developed backstories for the character, that the Coen brothers, you know, basically just asked her to like come up for something that you think like fits this. And they had come up with this story that Marge and her husband were both police officers, but that they didn't want two police officers in the house. And so they decided that she was going to get to stay as an officer because she was the better officer of the two, and that he was going to stay home and, you know, do his own thing and try to make it as a painter or whatever. And I just thought that was so cool, because that scene, the way that that's shot is like, I mean, it's totally that. It's like they're together, but she's like the breadwinner going off out into the world, and he's the one staying home. I thought that was a really great framing, great blocking, great cinematography. And it really, again, kind of tells you some of this, like Brad said at the beginning, it tells you stuff without telling you stuff. If you don't, if I hadn't, you know, well, I guess I didn't at the time that I was seeing it. I just thought it was a good shot. But knowing after the fact that was like their backstory makes that shot so much cooler to me.
Right. Yeah. But I also love when she leaves and he's just like sitting there, like he like takes the food off her plate and starts eating it.
He like scoots her plate over and starts eating the bacon.
Yep. And then she comes back in. She's like, Norm Prowler needs to jump. You know, it goes off into the. So good.
What scene were you talking about where they were eating?
That scene.
Oh, that was the one?
Yeah, because like basically you see how he is as a husband. Mm-hmm. You know, you realize he's because like at first you're like, why is he just insisting that she eat something for breakfast? Like she's like, I gotta go, and like she gets up and you're like, oh, okay, he's taking care of her, but he's like, I'll make you some eggs. Like how many times did he say I'll make her some eggs? And then you know, they talk a little bit about the painting, and so you learn about both of their characters. And I also love the whole thing where like they're driving back and she says something to Lou about I can't remember who it was, but he was like, oh, I don't think he would have anything to do with this. And she's like, no, I want to get some night crawlers for Norm.
Yeah.
You know? And it was just like, oh, okay. Cause like he's going to go ice fishing, you know?
Yeah.
And then like, what's funny is the first time I watched that, like, I didn't know, or not night fishing, ice fishing. And I didn't know that like, that's what that was for. And so my wife immediately like, he's like, oh, she's like, Norm's going to go ice fishing. Like she knew because she's from the Midwest. So I was like, oh yeah, like it was just funny that it's a little thing in there that if you're not from the Midwest, you might not know what that means initially. You're like, what? And then someone mentions it when they're at the restaurant later. It's like, oh, Norm, you're going ice fishing? Yeah, when? Well, after lunch. You know, like
yeah, that I love the shot too of when he looks in that bag of night crawlers and they're just all squirming around.
Yeah,
like that scene where they're eating their Arby's, which, by the way, for anybody watching this, absolute sacrilege that they are eating Arby's without curly fries.
Yeah,
unforgivable. Not acceptable. But she's like, oh, you got Arby's all over my face or whatever, and he just kind of like dabs her before that other officer comes in. Like their relationship is like so awesome, and I love the way the movie showed it.
I thought it was cool too because, you know, again, the Coen brothers never leave anything just kind of happenstance in their movies, as far as like the way that's shot, the dialogue that is said that comes out of people's mouths. I remember that first scene when you first meet Margie and her husband, and he's talking about, you know, I'm going to go make you some eggs. And then she refuses it. I'm going to make you some eggs. And then right before he gets up, he just lets out this big cough. I mean, it's like, you didn't have to have that in the movie. You know, you could have cut it right before that, but no, they left it in again to just kind of play to this fact that they're just ordinary people, just kind of doing their job, living their life. And like, it's just this window into their relationship. And it's, I don't know, just a little subtle detail like that I was like, man, Coen brothers.
Yeah. I do want to mention, because you mentioning the curly fries from Arby's made me wonder. So I looked this up. So Arby's was founded in 1964. Curly fries didn't come out or weren't added to the menu until 1988 as curly Q's. So they weren't like a main staple. They still had straight cut fries. And I think that in this instance, the Coen brothers were like, no, not curly fries, straight cut fries. This is a small town. These are people that know what they like and they stick with it. And I feel like that was an intentional choice. Because
you know what? It very well might have been.
Yeah.
It very well might have been. And in fact, if that is the case, then kudos to them. Because that, you know, I'm like, I always, you've heard me say it a billion times. I'm always talking about like, I love people that are very thoughtful about stuff like that, especially when it comes to production, because to pay that much attention to detail, to do something like that, to be like, hey, is it anachronistic for them to be eating curly fries? Like, should we, you know, have the regular fries? Does that mean like he takes place in 1987?
So the curly fries weren't even out.
Yeah.
There you go.
They went for historical accuracy.
Awesome.
Wow.
Good job.
Awesome.
That's right. I forgot. Why didn't I realize it takes place in 1987? I'm just thinking 1996 and
Thanks, Duppy. That's good fact finding for us. Yeah, then even more so. That's awesome, because I love when people pay attention to detail like that, because how many people even noticed that they weren't curly fries? You know, like how many people would have cared or said anything? they mentioned Arby's just because she's like, oh, you got Arby's all over my face or whatever. Like that is awesome. That is awesome. That kind of thoughtfulness is exactly trust the Duppy. In Duppy we trust. In Duppy we trust.
See, in turn, like subconsciously I knew 1987, but I don't know why. Like I just didn't factor that in. But then now, man, we just went through a whole like, Like
yeah,
Arby's.
but see, that's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah. That's the kind of thoughtfulness I'm talking about. And even there's another one that in the commentary Deacon talks about at the very end of the movie. There's two scenes that are back to back. And one is where Jerry, where you were talking about, where Jerry's trying to crawl through that window in the little hotel or whatever, when he realized he's been busted and they're going to get him. Apparently the Coen brothers, like Deacon said that he wasn't sure that they specifically said that they wanted him to film it hand camera so that it got that that bouncy, like, oh, we're an action news story and we're breaking in on somebody in a hotel room. And so it's, it's hand cam. Why can't I think of what they call that or whatever? Handheld camera. Yeah. Just they're filming handheld. And then the very next shot is Marge and her husband in bed, and it's locked, and they're just slowly panning in again like they did originally for William H. Macy. And he specifically talks about how he wasn't sure that was the right call, and now watching it, it's a perfect call because of that scene with William H. Macy where it's locked through the blinds and they're slowly going in on it. Then you get this shaky shot, and then you get the shot of the protagonists again, and it's just like, boo. Awesome. That kind of thoughtfulness. Again, I don't know how many people would have noticed. I didn't notice it on the first watch, but when I watched it with the commentary, it was like, wow, that, like, you just subconsciously you pick up the vibes of that shaky camera in that scene, and then just like the steadiness of the scene afterwards. Yeah, awesome.
It's that juxtaposition of this person's life is all out of sorts and like it's all bumpy and crazy, and these other people's lives, it's just they're steady.
Yeah.
They're and she's talking about, like, we're doing pretty good, Norm, that whole kind of like reflection. And then it just kind of ends with no, with just like, my wife was like, she kind of chuckled because like, she's like, I felt like that was going to like happen. Like it was just going to end. And I was like, yeah, I mean, there wasn't really much else to wrap up there. I mean, it's the murder was solved. They found, like all of.
There is one thing missing because kind of like what you were talking about at the beginning, we don't really know why he needed the money to begin with. We also don't know what happened with the money buried in the snow.
Yeah,
that's true.
There's like $1 million minus $80K because what's his face? Carl lied when he brought back the $80K or whatever. There was like a way more money in that. I don't even know how much he actually took with him, but there was way more money in that briefcase. And he just buried it in the snow, put that little scraper in there, which that scene was also hilarious. The realization where he like looks around, he's like, crap, this all looks exactly the same. I'm never going to be able to find this later. So he puts the little scraper in the ground as if that's going to help in any way when he comes back 2 days later after another massive snowfall where that scraper is surely buried.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah. Isn't it also just the Coen brothers being Coen brothers, like the fact that they said at the very beginning with that text that pops up on the screen that it's based on a true story? It's not.
Yeah, none of it is true.
Right.
So like like the balls to just do that, be like, it's based on a true story. Wink. It's not, though. Just to kind of fool people, like right at the beginning. Like, I don't know.
I wondered about that too initially, because I was like, is there like a law against misrepresenting something as true that's not? But it's a movie, so like,
right.
And didn't like what was that, Paranormal Activity or whatever, the one with the house
Project,
with like the
all
sticky,
that. Yeah.
Do those movies claim they're based on a true story, and they
like found
clearly
footage.
are not?
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. Just that, because audiences, sometimes every once in a while deserve to be messed with. So if anybody's going to do it, I'm glad the Coen brothers did it.
Well, yeah, and don't you think it kind of puts you in like a different frame of mind, though, thinking that it's a true story? Like, because when I watched it the first time with Kelly, my wife, she's seen it before, but since I had never seen it, she was like, I want to know what you think. And she didn't really spoil anything for me. So we're watching it. I'm seeing that. So I was like, really? This is based on a true story? Okay. Like, I'm in for this. And then we started watching it. And as I'm like watching the movie, I'm like, this seriously happened? Like, this is crazy. This is fucking nuts, man.
Yeah, I think the Coen brothers didn't actually tell the cast of the movie until they were well into filming that it wasn't a true story.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's probably a good move.
Yeah,
good move.
Yeah,
because not finding out that it wasn't true until afterwards, I think changed my whole not whole perspective, but a big chunk of the perspective I had on the movie. Because again, I think my frame of mind was totally different while watching it the first time, thinking that it was based on something, even if it was just based on, real vignettes that they put together to make a story. Even that would have been like, oh, okay. But to find out that like none of it's true, and they were just like, yeah, it's just a cool story. And that they changed it every time they would tell like what story it was based on. There was like 3 or 4 different stories that apparently they like threw out about it being, based on. It's genius.
Yeah, because that's gonna affect the cast as well.
Yeah,
there's I wonder what their reaction was though when they found out.
The cast and crew didn't know that it wasn't based on a true story until 3 weeks into filming, which I'm like, wow.
3 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
I really wonder how that works, because I feel like if I was Marge, or not Marge, but if I was Frances McDormand, that I would have wanted to like research the role or like research the character that I was playing.
Yeah.
And so like I wonder how that kind of conversation would have gone if they were just like, hey, don't tell anybody, but it's not based on it's not actually based on a true story.
It's not real. Don't worry about it.
Or if they like made up a person, or if they were like, crap, she's onto us, and then they tried to like find somebody that it was, could have loosely been based on or whatever, just to give her some character reference. But
I know, was Wikipedia even a thing back then in 90, 95?
96? Yeah, no, maybe. I don't think so. I don't think so. I know that the scene where they're in the beginning when that couple tries to make the deal with Jerry, like on the car salesman deal, it was actually almost like Ethan Coen said it's almost verbatim the transcript of his experience. So like, yeah, and so
the one that Duppy mentioned earlier,
yeah, or he's like, when the customer forces himself to say, like fucking liar, like he just the way he says it. I think, hold on, he's asking a question about Frances McDormand.
Was she married to Joel or Ethan at the time? I don't know. I knew she was married to one of them, but again, I found that out after the fact. While you're looking that up, Brad, I have a question that you guys may or may not know the answer to, or maybe somebody in chat knows the answer to. All the police cars have a license plate that just says police. And it kept driving me nuts because there was multiple police cars in the movie. I thought it was the same police car, and I was like, oh, that's funny. It's such a small town that the police car has a police license plate. But then they showed like that caravan at the end when she's got what's-his-face in the back seat, and she kind of like pulls off the road to let the ambulance and stuff pass. And the car that's driving by also has a license plate that just says police. Like the license plate number is police. Mm-hmm. Is that like a thing in North Dakota or whatever? Does like every police car?
Yeah, probably.
Now I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah. They were married. They've been married since 1984, so it's likely that she knew that it was not based on a true story, and it was
she went along with it.
Yeah, family secret. I didn't realize they were.
Are they still married?
Yeah, they're still together.
Wow.
So,
yay for lasting Hollywood relationship.
She was great in Almost Famous. It's another great movie.
Cameron Crowe.
Yeah. If you've never seen the director's cut of that movie, like the 3-hour version of it,
of what movie?
Almost Famous. Cameron Crowe. Very, very, very
Kate
worth
Hudson.
a watch.
Yeah.
Yes. It's so funny because she's on the cover, but she is not the main character of the movie. Like it's Patrick Fugit's character, like William, which is based on Cameron Crowe himself.
Right.
So, yeah. Anyway.
Duppy, if that's true, that's crazy.
No, Jamie Lee Curtis is married to Christopher Guest.
Oh.
So I think.
Well, then I wish Duppy wasn't a liar. He's asking. Never mind. You're not a liar.
I think from all the tabloids that I read, because I read those constantly, you know, every time I go to the grocery store, I'm like, whoa.
You've got your
Jamie
Inquirer
Lee Curtis on the red carpet without her husband, Christopher Guest. No, yeah, I don't know who Ethan Coen is married to.
Himself.
I mean,
and your mom. What else? Anything else?
I do like that, and I don't know how this came to be, but I do like that there was this whole thing about the Coen brothers hiring an editor for this movie. I don't know if you know about this.
No.
But
nominated.
And the thing is, it was they had no editor, and I think what in my head, it was like they wanted to edit their own movie, and the studio was like, no way, we got to hire somebody. You're not and they're like, okay, we got this guy, and really it was them. And so they had this whole idea that if they
made up a name, they made up a
name. I can't. It's here somewhere, but they had this idea that if they actually won, they wanted to bring out Albert Finney dressed as this person, like this kind of old British cutter.
Funny.
And but the Academy like shot that down because they're like, we can't have that. Like, we don't. That's not cool. And I'm like, screw you guys.
I know, man.
That's funny. Yeah, I was wondering what would happen if they won, because I read that it wasn't a real person. Also, the little Prince symbol in the credits.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys see that? There's I think it's the guy in the red jacket that gets shot. You know, he's running away from the car in the scene or whatever. If in the credits, there's like a little Prince symbol for the person's name. And I even told Kelly, I was like, Prince is in this movie? And then she's like, what? No. And I looked it up to see if Prince was in the movie. And no, apparently it's just like a production assistant or something. And they thought it would be funny to put the little symbol, but it's not the Prince symbol. It looks like the Prince symbol, but in like the circular part, there's like a little smiley face and it's reversed. Check it out. Just skim through the credits. There's like a freaking Prince symbol right in the middle of it. I was like, what?
I mean, I know Prince is from Minnesota, which is very close.
That's where most of the movie was filmed and takes place.
Right.
Because Brad's right. Only the opening scene where he meets the hitmen or kidnappers or whatever is actually in Fargo.
Oh, yeah.
The rest of it happens in that Beaverton or whatever it was.
Brainerd.
Yeah. Which they made the right choice there. That would be a terrible name for a movie.
Yeah. And I don't know if it was even.
No offense to people from Brainerd.
Right. How dare you?
Followers.
I don't know if that was the actual title, but I think that they had a working title of some sort, and they were just like, they decided to call it Fargo probably early on because Brainerd just doesn't have the same, like Brainerd, home of Paul Bunyan. You know, like why would we be interested? But like Fargo, just even saying it, Fargo.
Yeah. I even like on the text everywhere for the movie, like that bold, squat, stretch text.
Yep.
It feels like it has weight to it, and especially with all the snow in the movie and everything. Man,
I really also
that was
wanted
the
to
right
mention,
choice
for sure. I wanted to mention that, Carter Burwell's score, I think, is just so fitting.
Oh,
of the movie.
I did.
And he did a great job. As much as I hate the Twilight films, the music in those movies are pretty good. He did the score for Twilight, which I don't judge music based on movies. I can listen to the music without watching the movie. But yeah, it just the score in this film fits so well. Like it just sets the mood perfectly. And I don't know what you guys. I mean, I know Elon, you're a big you and I are kind of big kind of movie score, like film score buffs. I don't know about you, Derek. I don't know you that well. I'm trying, but you never answer my text. I'm kidding. I never text you, so that's probably why. But no, did you guys feel like it set the tone? Is there anything that you maybe like, because Derek, this was the first time you saw the movie, right?
Yeah. And
Okay.
I'll let Elon go first because I did look up the score after watching the movie, and I don't want that to taint what we talk about.
Yeah, like I love that score because it almost sounds like it shouldn't work.
Yeah.
Like just the style of it and some of the like crescendos and like even the arrangement.
Yeah.
Like
it definitely, like Duppy says, it has kind of an early music feel.
yes,
Like
it feels like it should be in a Western.
Right.
And just with the instruments involved, it feels like this should be some Clint Eastwood film that I'm watching right now, but it's not. And it's like, and it because it's set in the 80s, again, the style and the genre shouldn't work, but like it just does. So I think because it's kind of this unorthodox feel and energy and style to it, that it just kind of adds to just this how everything is kind of falling apart and like nothing. It's so many parts that on paper shouldn't work, and yet when you see it all together, it's just brilliant. And the music is part of that.
That's kind of awesome that you guys say early music, because the thing that I looked up that I saw, I don't remember where I found it, but the score, there's like a central motif that runs through the score that is based on a Norwegian folk song.
Yes.
And they said that they picked it because all they thought about with the movie was snow, and so their first thought went into like, you know, Norway and the Arctic and just being cold, and that was the feeling that they wanted to get across through that score. The song is called "The Lost Lamb," which appropriately reflects the lonely winter of the small snowy town in Minnesota. That's off of IMDb. That's not where I read it the first time though. But just the fact that it's based on something that is that old and that early is like awesome that you guys caught on to that. Cause I did not. I was like more along what Brad was saying earlier, that it was like, okay, this is weird, interesting choice. And then as you like see that motif like play through, I was like, okay, yeah, it works. It makes sense or whatever. But then the movie, you know, kind of ended and there wasn't any like, I don't know, just big changes in it. And I was like, okay, that was a choice. And I looked it up and it was like, okay, that's cool. Cause that, again, that's another example of that like thoughtfulness that I don't know. I really appreciate that kind of stuff. I'm so surprised that I've never seen this movie before. Like, especially with all the praise that it gets.
I know. I need to watch it with Roger Deakins commentary now.
Yeah, do it, man. There's so many things. Like, I think this is a great movie to show somebody, if somebody wants to know about like movie magic for something that is not like a sci-fi movie or something that takes place on another planet or whatever. This is such a great example of that, because he talks about so many shots in the movie that are filmed in multiple places, or like even the scene where they break into the house, that's filmed at 3 different locations. You know, depending on which part of the scene they're in. The scene where the cop pulls them over, they film that in a shed because they couldn't get a background dark enough. So they literally just moved the car into like a barn house shed, put some lights behind it to simulate the headlights of the police car with some like flashing lights in there. And then the only light source was the flashlight of him shining it on their faces. And I'm like, that is awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't know that, like, it doesn't really make sense why they would do that. And then you look and it's like, we just wanted the lighting to be right, or we just wanted it to be completely black in the background, you know, to juxtapose the cop kind of leaning in with the light flashing in their eyes and it feeling claustrophobic and dark. And it's like, man, that's so cool. That's so cool.
Choices.
Yeah. And even the scenes, apparently the actual car wreck, that was filmed in 2 different scenes or in 2 different places, so that the night shot was again in complete darkness, and it gave that kind of claustrophobic feeling. And then it was filmed in a different location so that when they came back to see the car with the two officers in the daytime, they wanted this like hazy outdoor open whitewashed look to it. So you'd be like, oh dang, this looks like it's, you know, a completely separate incident. But then you see the car and then you're like, oh wait, this is the same place.
Yeah.
And like that's
So
super
crazy.
cool to me. Super cool to me that they were just like, hey, we need to split this up in a few different places. And you don't, as an audience member, as a watcher or viewer, you don't notice that. The scenes in the dealership, that was filmed across 4 different locations. Even when he walks back, the repair guy, where he's first talking to him, Jerry's first talking to him or whatever, that was not connected at all to the actual building that they filmed in when Jerry's in his office. But they were just like, hey, we need him to come out, deliver some lines, and then walk right back inside. So it doesn't really matter if it's connected to it, you know?
Right.
Like that kind of stuff is so cool to me, because as a viewer, it seems like it's all the world that is like built there seems very much like a real world place that all these different things just fit into, and they're not at all. It's all movie magic. It's all just tricking you, or like making you feel like it's the same place in the way that they shoot it, the way that they light it, the way that they set it up. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I think that is something that a lot of people don't think about. They just think, well, they found the location and it has everything in it. That's what they used. And it's like, typically for most things, it's not like that at all.
No.
You know, even Back to the Future. I know we're representing Back to the Future. Like the school and the dance at the end of the school and the gym are 2 completely different places. It's not the same place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Indoors and outdoors. When they go inside, it's a different location than it is when they go outside.
Yep.
It's 2 different places at different points in time. It's just like they just needed a spot that had the stuff that they wanted to film. And I don't know. The cohesion that they get from feeling is incredible.
But you talk about earlier, you were talking about attention to details, and I'm not going to make this all about Back to the Future, but there is something in there that a lot of people miss. And it's always funny to me, because if you look at the opening of the movie when Marty is trying out for the, like him, you know, it's like with the pinheads and like they're trying out for the school dance, you know, you notice how massive the gym is, right? Like it's pretty big, you know. Huey Lewis is sitting down there with the other
minus the news,
right?
Like, those are the news, but like, you know, it's massive. And then when you look at the 1950s dance, like the Enchantment of the Sea, it's small.
Yeah.
Well, in the background when Marty's late, if you look it says the school dance tryouts and it says newly renovated gym. So just that little flyer, just that little flyer just took care of that whole difference between like the old gym and the new gym. Because like if you think about it, 30 years is a long time. Of course, they're going to have a newly renovated gym or something, you know. So just it's those little attention to details that a lot of people, like most people probably don't even pick up on that. But even subconsciously, if you go back and watch it, and you're like, man, that is weird. I never thought about that. And you see the sign, and your kind of eyes are wandering, and you look at it, you're like, that's why. And it's like those little things, I think, just between the you know, this being in a different location than that, and making it kind of cohesively come together, where it makes you feel like, oh wow, the interior of that house actually is where they shot this. It's like, no, that was the soundstage. You know, it's such a crazy thing, and like that is part of movie magic that people don't talk about really. It's kind of like a hidden. It's kind of like editing and stuff like that. It's like a hidden art form, because like you want it to be invisible, because as soon as you start noticing it, then it's not invisible. You know, if you're noticing that stuff, then I don't think
that's a great example though, the Back to the Future one, because that's like a multi-tiered level of detail. You know, like the fact that they had to use 2 different locations or whatever for the gyms and that or whatever, most people probably didn't even notice that. So the fact that they went like, just in case they notice it, like let's figure out a reason why this looks so different or whatever. Again, just in case somebody maybe notices that out there. That's super cool to me.
Yeah. I also do wonder if part of that was because they filmed the movie twice. basically one with Eric Stoltz, and they maybe made adjustments or added things that they weren't able to the first time or didn't think about. So once they reshot a lot of it with Michael J. Fox, then they may have it. But in my head, I'm like, maybe they probably had it. I mean, they're smart. They probably did. Probably the first time,
I just like the I had mentioned that there's the one scene, or Duppy actually mentioned the scene, the shot from up above with William H. Macy walking the thing. Another shot that they had to use a fake snow machine for was the when he goes into the parking structure or whatever, and he swaps out the license plates because he realizes that they know it's a dealer car. So he goes in there, comes out, and then he's like arguing with the guy about like, man, come on, I just
got here.
I was here for 5 minutes. I just came in and then changed my mind or whatever. That whole scene that they filmed from up top was also fake snow because it hadn't snowed. Apparently it was like the warmest summer in there, and they had planned for that scene to have a bunch of snow everywhere, and they were like, nope, we got to stick to it. It's got to have the snow. So they had to get a guy come in overnight to put the snow onto the parking structure just so they could get that shot.
And when he's driving around, there's those times where like he's struggling because the snow is so thick and his tires are spinning and stuff. So like, wow, that was
there's a scene where they first bring her to that cabin after they get away from the cops or whatever. All the snow on those trees, the pine trees outside, is fake, or it's shaved ice. They had to like prep that whole area because when they first scouted it, it had snow all over it. And then by the time they got there to film, they were like, it's not there. Deacon even mentions in the commentary that there was a couple shots, just the freeway shots, where they're just showing the car with, snow everywhere, and they're following some vehicle. He's like, we just went out there. We marked on the street, like where the camera was going to go and what lens we were going to use. And by the time we came back, all the snow was gone. So he's like, so they had to be like selective. They had to really like rush and like pick and wait sometimes. The scene where they first discover the accident, it was apparently bright and sunny, and so they just waited for some cloud cover, and he was like, they just got lucky because there just happened to be this massive section of clouds that covered the sky and gave them that nice foggy, like misty effect. And he was like, we didn't have that the first time we went and scouted it to like try and get that shot. He's like, and it just gave this nice like glow to everything. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a
movie magic.
Cinematographer. Yeah, magic, for real. Man. For real. When you have people at the top, like a bunch of people at the top of their game firing on all cylinders, it really like comes together.
Yeah. Especially with the actors and the performances on top of that. Like, it's one thing to just set everything up, and then you kind of have to like hope for the best when your actors get involved with it. But they all killed it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things that is such a through line with Coen Brothers movies that I've noticed, not all of them, but kind of what we were talking about earlier, how there's always like one or two scenes that are going to shock you. But like it's because it's got
in Fargo.
Yeah. But I mean, but just with Coen Brothers films in general, like there's always like some humor in it. There's always like this underlying tension, great dialogue, but then there's always a scene where it's like way more violent than you were expecting. Like when Steve Buscemi's character gets shot in the jaw. And then he just unloads his gun into that dude. And it's like, you're leading up to that point. Yes, it was a little bit violent at times, but like that just, up the ante right there.
Well, when they shoot the cop in the car,
like,
the blood's like squirting in the car. And I was like, oh my gosh, how are they going to get around that? And then, I mean, as if they predicted people's reactions to that. As soon as I had that thought, that other car drives by, and I'm like, because I was already thinking, how are they going to get away with this when there's a trooper's car and he's literally bleeding into the driver's seat, and it's like, huh?
Right. Yeah. So like, it's it seems like there's so many genres involved with Coen Brothers movies, all at once, and like they just don't hold back. And No Country for Old Men is another one where it's like, wow, that is violent, but at the same time, it's just so enthralling and engaging and tense, while still not being like over the top somehow, just because of how, emotionless, what's his face?
Chigurh, Anton Chigurh.
Right. And like, it's just, like,
or Chigurh, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Up for interpretation.
I actually, that's a movie I'm going to watch here coming up, because I didn't really like that movie the first time that I saw it, but I think it'll be different eyes. I think I'm going to be seeing it with completely different eyes when I watch it again. So
that one's on Criterion.
Is it? Oh, yay.
No Country. Yeah.
Yeah. All of their movies. If you've never seen, what was it? Hudsucker Proxy or Barton Fink.
Haven't seen Hudsucker or Barton Fink.
Oh, Barton Fink. I mean, I love John Turturro as an actor. I think he's amazing.
Yeah.
He held that movie together, man. Like, and John Goodman's in that one too. I think that one's like kind of a underappreciated kind of classic. I've never seen Blood Simple, which is their very first movie. I've always wanted to see that. There's also Miller's Crossing, which I've seen some of, but not all of.
Are all their movies like what you're talking about, Elon? Because that was one of the things that I noticed too, that I had mentioned to Kelly, that a lot of the snow shots reminded me of The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing. And I don't know if it was intentional on their part, but a lot of the movie I actually thought gave like horror vibes. Like there was a lot of scenes or a lot of like camera shots where it was like, this could have straight up been from a horror movie, but this is not really like a horror movie. It's more like a drama / thriller.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing about a lot. I mean, I can't say that I've seen a lot of Coen Brothers movies, but the few that I have seen, that's another reason why I think they're such geniuses, is because of the fact that they can, just to serve the story, they can bend the genre or genres to their will.
Yeah.
Because Hudsucker Proxy is one of my favorite Coen Brothers movies, and it's like so goddamn charming, and it's got like old timey kind of
Elon curse. Now I have to watch this movie.
Yeah, because it's but like there's,
you look like the guy in the sales office being like, "You goddamn liar," or whatever. like you're going against everything in your body, but you had to say it.
Yeah, and like, Hudsucker Proxy has no violence like whatsoever. I don't think. I think it might even be PG. And but it's such a good story, such incredible acting. Yeah, because it's basically a story wrapped around the invention of the hula hoop. I mean, if you want to make it just like bare bones, but there's obviously so much more to it than that. So like, they can, whatever they write, it is just to serve the story. And yeah, sometimes it gets super violent and they don't hold back, but other times, it's just charming as hell. So
yeah, very genre bending though. That's a good term for it. That's a very good term for it.
Yeah, they did.
Because I noticed that several times. There's several scenes where I'm like, this could have straight up been out of a completely different movie. And maybe that's where that music kind of really works with that, because all of it feels like it should be out of place or like it should be from another movie, but it works so well together, and it really makes you feel like what the feelings that I got felt very appropriate for what I was watching on the screen. And I think that doesn't happen a lot with movies that draw from a lot of different genres. A lot of them feel piecemealed, and this doesn't. It felt very, very cohesive in a weird kind of way. Almost like I didn't understand it until halfway through the movie, where I'm like, Yeah, this okay. Because again, I kind of went in blind. I'd never seen this movie, and I didn't watch the trailer. I didn't look anything up. I knew about the snow, I guess, because people talk about it all the time, and I think I had seen like one of the DVD covers is like a cross stitch or something of like a dead body in the snow. So I was like, okay, I guess it happens in snowy North Dakota or whatever.
Right. Yeah, because I think that also plays to the fact of just how like tight knit the Coen brothers are, as far as like, we've got this story and we've nailed this script. Because I listened to the What Went Wrong podcast, and that is just like inherent with probably about 90% of the films that go through Hollywood, is that, you know, the script goes through so many different iterations, which is, you know, true for almost everything nowadays, and or has been since the dawn of cinema. But a lot of times, you know, just because they need something to get going, they start production even before the script is done. You know, they're kind of just piecemealing things together as they go, and then they try and put it all together as a cohesive story in the edit and post-production. But I just don't get that vibe from the Coen brothers. It just seems like whenever they're set on telling a story, you know, just like basically wanting all of their actors to say exactly what is on the page. It's like they have a vision. They've already worked things out. Sure, there's going to be production woes, you know, that they have to kind of work around. I mean, that's inevitable.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it just seems like they have their shit together before production even starts.
That's so fascinating to me.
And you can't say that about a lot of directors out there.
Yeah, especially nowadays. Like it's
Well, one of my favorites is Taika Waititi, and he's like famously known for being super collaborative and basically just having like a loose outline of what he wants the movie to be. He's got any, you know, like dialogue beats that he definitely needs in the film. He's got those, but every single person that works with him is like, and then after we get what he wants, then he's like, okay, let's start playing. Let's, you know, now you do something. What would your character do in this situation? And I feel like when I create stuff, which I guess mine's not as creative because I'm doing it for like client work and stuff. There's not a lot of creativity like that in creating a full feature film, but I'm very collaborative with that stuff. I always want to know what creative people have, and that's not to say we're always going to use it or it's always going to make it in the final product or the final, you know, the final shot or whatever. But I love hearing what people have to say, because sometimes there's just, you know, sometimes you don't even get the idea until somebody says something.
Yeah.
And it's like that's where the most creative stuff comes sometimes. So the fact that they have this vision in their head and they know exactly what they want and it's that awesome is, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, also they're not afraid to use technology to kind of further their storytelling and make it a storytelling piece, not in a way of like, oh, we're going to CGI the hell out of this thing. They did a movie in 2001 called The Man Who Isn't There with Billy Bob Thornton. My Florida boy came out in me a little bit. My Billy Bob Thornton. So like they made
Tallahassee,
right? They Tallahassee. I'm turning into like Zombieland, right? Like I'm just Woody Harrelson. But they shot the movie in color, but they used special processing to convert it into a film noir black and white. So they lit it as if they would have filmed in black and white, but they shot it in color. And then that kind of thing led them to do Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, which was the first movie that was fully utilized digital color correction and color grading to get the look that they wanted.
It's like sepia toned.
Right. So if you watch a lot of those scenes, like a lot of that is like, you know, we look at stuff like DaVinci Resolve and things like that now that can do this stuff, you know, like on a whim, not even breaking a sweat, but like this stuff was way different back in the day. And so like doing like selective masks on just like a certain shade of green, or just isolating something just took so much longer. You know, I tell my wife all the time, I'm like, you know, when I was in film school, doing something like Pleasantville was insane to me, because it's like you had these like moments where you're like, some things are in color and some things are not, and now literally we could just selectively use something, have AI track it in the scene, and then you desaturate everything else and you're done. Like, well,
what's crazy to me about you saying that, because again, now I want to watch this movie with Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah,
because if you've ever converted a color image into black and white, it's a very different process from just filming something in black and white. Because in order to film something in black and white, you just get certain values from the film. The way that the black and white film gets exposed, you get those brightness and lightness values. You could put filters on it to change that a little bit, but ultimately the film is what's dictating the final black and white range. Whereas if you're converting from color, you get to choose. You get to say, I want the reds to be the darkest part of the scene, or I want the blues to be the darkest part of the scene. So you can get all kinds of different looks and all kinds of different feels and vibes from the same color footage, just depending on how that conversion process to black and white goes. So they literally could have done that for every single scene in the movie to grade the black and white differently to get a different vibe or a different mood or whatever. And to have that in your head in production, like to know enough about that process, to have that in your head during production, to be like, hey, we're going to light this scene this way, or we're going to do it this way, or dress the actors in these costumes or whatever. I can't wait to see this movie now.
yeah, definitely check it out, because I think they also did a lot of the makeup like they did in the old school. Because if you've never seen how they actually did the makeup in like the silent era movies, like the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, it's a lot of greens. It's a lot of things that would show up on the camera. So when you see it in person, it's like, what the hell is that? I'm going to quote that. What the hell is even that?
They kind of talk about that. What's that silent film, but it came out like less than 10 years ago. The Artist. Is that the one?
Yeah, The Artist.
Oh yeah.
They talk about that because a lot of it, when they're first getting on camera or whatever, and he's got this ridiculous makeup on his face or whatever, and there's actually a really cool special effect that uses exactly what you're talking about, Brad. It's like a lady turning into a witch or something.
Yeah,
and they did it by like
camera.
Yeah, because they switched the color filter, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. That switch with black and white footage, by putting a different filter on it, or like changing the way that filtering is processed, you can get some really, really cool stuff.
What was that called again, Brad?
The Man Who Isn't There, or The Man Who Wasn't There. Sorry.
Which was it? Both Coen brothers, or just one of them, or?
It was the Joel and Ethan Coen. So yeah.
Okay. Oh man, I forgot that they did Buster Scruggs too.
Yeah, I have not seen that one.
Dude, watch it. If not for the opening vignette alone. My wife loved that movie so much that I bought her a copy of the script. They did like a limited run of prints of the script.
Whoa.
And I got her one of those. That movie is super cool. God, I can't even. I really missed out on the Coens, man. I really missed out on them.
Well, luckily they have this whole back catalog that you can easily watch now.
Yeah, I know, right? I feel like I'm gonna be buying all these movies though. So, which, by the way, again, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe, and you can get a copy of Fargo 4K.
Yeah.
Add it to your collection if you don't have it already.
We're gonna choose a winner in a little bit.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to do a bunch of these. Bad Santa? They did Bad Santa? Oh, the producers. They produced
it. Was like,
that was Billy Bob though.
They produced it. Joel Coen produced Bad Santa.
Yeah.
He was EP on it. That's nuts. Absolutely nuts. Hail Caesar. Wow.
I know. I haven't seen
oh my God, Big Lebowski. Jesus, I need to see
Llewyn Davis. I haven't seen that. I really want to see that one.
You did not, or you did?
Did not.
Oh.
Of course, Frances McDormand is in The Man Who Wasn't There.
Right.
Added to my wish list. Thank you for the recommendation, Bradley.
Oh, no problem. There's a moment, and I'm not even going to tell you what it is, but there's a moment that this is something I think about all of the time, because in film school we talked about this moment in the movie where it's one of those things where, okay, the scene is going just as you think it would. The expectation is, okay, X plus Y equals Z, and it does not equal Z in this sense, because like there's a curve, and you're just like, it comes out of nowhere, and you're like, what the hell just happened? Like, it's so funny because it's just, and it's such a subtle thing too, because you're like, nothing what we've talked about here is what is going on now. Like, I don't understand what you're getting. Yeah, I mean, it has like Scarlett Johansson in it, James Gandolfini.
You have really piqued my curiosity, like a ton, because there's a lot of movies that I think I really don't like when they subvert expectations like that, because it feels like they're doing it just to subvert expectations so that people can't like guess the end of the movie or like where it's going or whatever. And I can't stand that, but that doesn't seem like that's the case with the Coens. It seems very thoughtful how they're doing it and what they're doing to do that subversion.
Yeah. I mean, they have something like that in all of their movies. I mean, there's stuff like that in Big Lebowski, in No Country. Was the other one with that? There's a shot, and I know we're talking about a different movie, in Big Lebowski, where they introduce the Jesus character, right? And then Walter is telling Donnie and the dude about him, and he says that he's a registered sex offender. And then it literally just cuts to a shot of him walking down the sidewalk and up to some guy's house to like basically like tell him that he's a registered sex offender. And it's just like there's no dialogue. It's just him walking and the guy's reaction. I'm like, they didn't need to add that.
That's hilarious.
You know what I mean? But oh my God, it's like that little attention to detail. Or it's like his little nail like on his pinky finger, I call it the cocaine nail, which I think a lot of people
it is a coke nail. Come on, that guy. It's definitely what that is.
What? Yeah. And he made a movie. There was like a spinoff. I don't think the Coen brothers were involved, but it was like an extenuation or a sequel just based on that character, John Turturro's character.
That's crazy.
And he like did the whole, like he was behind it, like he wanted to do it. Anyway.
Now I have like a whole list of things I need to watch. I need to watch the Fargo TV series, apparently, and the TV movie. I have to watch the Hudsucker Proxy. I have to watch The Man Who Wasn't There. Man, Raising Arizona.
Who Wasn't There is not streaming anywhere. Shocking.
Ooh.
That is some bullshit.
Of course, you can rent it for $3.99.
Dang. Well, anything else on Fargo?
Wow. Go see it in the movies. Just released this year. No, it is the 30th anniversary this year of Fargo.
Yeah, is Fathom still doing screenings of it at all or anything like that? Is there any special screenings?
I haven't noticed.
The theater by my house wasn't playing it, but there was a theater in nearby that was doing a screening of Fargo, but it's not until next month, I think.
Oh.
So I unfortunately didn't get to go see it in the theater, but maybe I'll see it again. Maybe I'll see it again. Do a little special screening for me.
Yay!
I am seeing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze, though, in the theater.
I am not, but I have it queued up. I have it on 4K Blu-ray. I unfortunately had to buy the triple pack. So
excellent.
Because the third one is the best.
Let's not talk about that. I've already watched the first one like twice. So,
since you got it,
I mean, I grew up. If I can, I'm not gonna be able to find it in time. I have an old like Leonardo like doll like this big.
Oh,
with,
nice.
Like a sword and everything. Yeah, I was a Ninja Turtle kid, man. It was.
Yeah, dude.
I've not seen the second movie in years. I'm really looking forward to the Vanilla Ice Go
Yo,
Ninja Go.
it's a green
Yeah.
machine gonna rock the
Yep.
town without being seen. Have you ever seen a turtle get down?
Damn.
I do
Toka
that
and
for
Razor,
karaoke
you know.
sometimes. Babies,
Yeah,
they're
they're babies. Nam nams.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't wait to talk about that one.
No, I know. And I mean, was it Chino, the kid?
Yeah, Chino.
Yeah,
Chino.
Pizza delivery.
Yeah.
I'm just the pizza delivery guy.
Chino. That's right. Yeah. Oh, he said. I always remember he's like when he's going out to deliver the pizzas in the beginning of the movie, and the girls are standing there and say something, and he mentioned something about their weight, and it always made me laugh because they were like insulting him, and he was just like, yeah, he's like, it couldn't, like something, and he just like takes off. I'm like, oh my god, that's so good.
Yeah. It's funny too, because that guy was like a nobody as far as I know, and got hired for that movie for his martial arts abilities, which is what a way to break in.
I think wasn't he in the first movie? I think he was one of the turtles in the first movie.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah,
he was in the suit. Like he wasn't the voice, but like he was the person in the.
No,
and also
kidding.
Fun fact, I think in the second movie, the guy in the Shredder costume is the I can't remember his name, the Asian doctor from Lost.
Oh, really?
Like the scientist. Yeah. Oh. Why can't I think of his name?
Liu Kim something?
Maybe. No, I think you're thinking of like not one of the main characters. He was like the head of Dharma.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, not the main Korean guy.
Right.
Okay.
That's Sun Jin. I can't remember his name. I'm bad. Terrible with names.
But yeah, for those watching, for those listening, don't forget to go see Ninja Turtles 2 in the theater this weekend, March 13th through whatever, according to your local theater, because I'm sure some theaters are probably going to show it more days in a row than others. So just check and see which ones are showing it, because it's going to be pretty badass to see
be awesome
in the theater. I can't.
Also,
wait.
I hate to tell you guys, Kino wasn't in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah, I was thinking something else.
What?
Ernie Reyes Jr.
Yeah. There is the guy that played Michelangelo in the first one is credited as Pizza Man in the second one, but that's not Kino. That is
there
not
are some
Kino.
people in the second one, like Susie Essman from Curb Your Enthusiasm makes a small appearance in
Nice.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Also, Kevin Clash, the voice of Elmo, is the voice of Splinter in this one.
Yes.
That's right.
Which was also in Labyrinth. Don't forget.
Yep, that's true.
That's true. Fire guys, whatever they're called.
And David Warner. I mean, who doesn't like David Warner? Anybody know who he is?
Yeah.
Is he a Warner?
Killjoy from Titanic. He was in another
Jordan Barry.
Yes, another classic 80s movie, My Best Friend the Vampire, starring somebody that I can't remember. He was also in Tron, the original Tron.
Really?
Yep.
Whoa.
I have seen that movie a few times and didn't even realize that.
Yeah, he was in a lot of stuff. He unfortunately passed away a few years ago, 2022.
I'm gonna be a buzzkill.
Yeah, sorry, Kip.
Oh, dang.
You're Kip. I'm Napoleon.
Yeah, Napoleon, don't be jealous because I've been chatting online, babes, all day. LaFonda's my girlfriend, and she's the fucking coolest. Okay.
That song he sings to her at the post credits.
Yeah.
I love technology,
but not as much as you. I love technology, always and forever.
We might have to watch that movie as part of part of one of these.
Oh, that would be awesome. I saw the screening of that movie and hated it. They gave us I Love Pedro t-shirts. They gave us all kinds of stuff, and I gave all of it away. And then my buddy and I couldn't stop quoting the movie for like months afterwards. And I regret giving all that stuff up. But we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah. Elon, you could talk about how Jared Hess came over to your house.
No, I went to his house.
Oh, you went to his house.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's super cool.
Yeah.
That's super great.
Oh my god,
that's cool guy.
That's so awesome.
Super laid back. God,
That's so awesome, Elon. I can't believe you did that. It's so cool.
yeah.
Hot in here.
All right. Well, we lost everybody that was watching now.
It's fine. It's fine.
Except for Duppy.
He's still here, maybe.
And Duppy,
I'm the one person watching it, actually. Oh no, 2 people. No.
Yay.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So join us. We don't, or we do know technically what we're going to do next week, Derek?
Yes.
Do we want to say that?
Sure. Elon and I are going to be doing a double take on Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
Because Elon has never seen that before.
Nope.
Oh, wow.
I have. So it'll be the reverse of this Fargo situation for us, which would be pretty cool. Yeah. And because you mentioned it, Brad, I mean, it's a perfect lead in for it. So
right. Well, you guys have fun because I'm not invited.
you can be if you want.
No, it's all good. Because don't you guys do it earlier in the day?
Yeah.
We do it at noon.
Yeah, which I'm going to have to figure out what time now because of daylight savings time messed me all up.
It's noon for you too now.
Derek messaged me like, when are we doing this? I'm like, I don't lead this thing. I don't know.
I told Elon I was literally in the shower and just getting ready, and my watch gave me a little notification. It was like, in 45 minutes, you guys are doing the thing. And I was like, wait, what? And so my watch was in like waterproof mode or whatever. So I'm like, hey, text Hidden Movie Club, trying to text our group chat, and it just texted you for some reason.
It's fine. I was like, oh, he really likes me.
And you did text me back this time.
I did.
I
Immediately, might I add.
I appreciate that.
No problem.
All right. Well, excellent. I'm super excited for our next live stream for TMNT, and I'm excited for Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Because I absolutely love that movie.
Yeah. So yeah, next Tuesday, 12 noon is when we do HMC double take. We're doing Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Don't forget to subscribe to our Substack, hiddenmovieclub.substack.com, if you are not a member yet. Free members just get access to our new weekly newsletter on Tuesdays. And for the $5 pledge tier, you get access to some content that YouTube doesn't want to show because they're dumb.
Ugh. Idiot.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
So keep on keeping on and watch some stuff, and go see TMNT2 in the theater.
And take your friends. Dress up as Ninja Turtles.
Take your family. It's gonna be dope.
Dress up as Ninja Turtles when you go see it, because that's the kind of thing I love to see when I go to the theater.
Bring a katana.
Yeah, don't do that.
Maybe not a real one.
Don't support. Yeah, plastic is fine. Don't bring a real one to the theater.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you possibly in a week, and we'll see you 2 weeks from now, all 3 of us, for the next when we talk about Ninja Turtles 2. So that'll be cool.
Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah.
Yes.
Babies.
See you later.
Babies. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.